All right, time for some homework help. I am going to help you with number 3 and number 5, so be ready. Now, in number 3, the reason why I'm helping you with this one is because you were given the output number. And to go backwards to the input number, remember, you must do the reverse of this rule. If we are going forward, this is x, you would just add 2. So going backwards, you have to subtract 2. So this is kind of how I do it. I subtract 2 and get the input, and then I'll write this middle column. So let me make it big. So starting with 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. So I'm going to write 0 there. Now let me make my pen a little thinner. Now when I write my rule, I write, remember 0 is now x, 0 plus 2 is 0. So I know that was right. Then I'm going to go to the next one, 3. I'm going to subtract 2 going backwards, which gives me 1. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I'm going to go to 8. 8 going backwards, 8 minus 2 is 6. So I'm going to write my 6 there, and 6 plus 2 is 8. All right, so that's how you do 3. 5 is a little more complicated, but it's really not if you can break down this problem. So in 5, we are going to use the information in the problem to fill in this function table, and then we're going to graph the function table over here. So we'll start by reading it, and I'll highlight some important stuff for you guys. It says, Whitney has a total of 30 cupcakes for her guests. The function rule, 30 divided by x, where x is the number of guests, can be used to find the number of cupcakes per guest. Now, just so you know, that function rule is right here in the middle of the table. Make a table of values that shows the number of cupcakes each guest will get if there are 6, 10, or 14 guests. Then graph the function. All right, so here's the thing. When they give you these values, you have to be careful whether they're giving you the input values or the output values. So it's really important to read the problem. This says that the number of cupcakes each guest will get if there are 6, 10, or 15 guests. So you got to make sure these numbers go where the guests are. So that's going to be over here where number of guests are. So I'm going to put 6, 10, and 15 there. 6, 10, and 15. Now, when I put that there, these are the x values. So I just have to substitute 6, 10, and 15 into this rule. So in the first column, I would have 30 divided by 6. And my output will be 5. In this column, I'll have 30 divided by 10. And the output will be 3. And the last, 30 divided by 15. And the output is 2. So that's how you do the function table. Now as far as graphing it, remember the x and y values. This 6, this 5 makes an ordered pair. So let me blow this up a little bigger here. So I'm going to write my ordered pairs 6, 5 right here. So I have 6, 5. And I'm going to do that for each one. I have 10, 3. And then 15, 2. These are the 3 ordered pairs. Remember, I got them from these columns, and I'm going to graph them on my graph. So, number of guests. Remember, the x value is the number of guests, so the 6 is where we go over to here. So I'll go over to the 6, and I'll go up to the 5, which will put my dot right there. Okay. For 10, 3, I'm going to go over to 10, which is between the 8 and the 12, and up to the 3, which would be right here. And last, for the 15, 2, I'm going to go over to 15, which will be right about there. And I'm going to go up to the 2, which will be right about there. So 15, 2. Okay, so that completes my graph. If you have any other questions, make sure you ask me tomorrow in class. Thanks, guys.